The movie begins with a little boy named Dylan walking in a corridor at night. He calls out to his parents and tries to open a locked door. Hearing muffled talk behind it, Dylan says he can hear them. Soon he sees liquid that might be blood leaking from under the door. We learn this is a nightmare he awakens from. His mother asks him if he is okay. The scene changes to a man looking at himself in the mirror. He is Adam, having his wife, Margot, approach him to say she thinks Dylan is finally asleep. She tells him their son had another nightmare and Adam feels bad for him. He thinks it's just the new house jitters. The man delights in the new house. Since they are in the washroom, he takes a special pride in the two sinks. Margot then looks at a black car outside the window. She says it has been idling there for 20 minutes. Once Adam goes to look at it, the car is no longer there. She thinks she saw it earlier too. Adam now believes his wife has the new house jitters along with Dylan. Later, the couple is having a house party. Adam gets the attention of his guests to say the couple is excited to have them there. We see Margot is slightly uncomfortable with him talking. Adam says a home is as good as the friends who fill it. Everyone there is very special to them. He finishes the speech on that note. Moving along, one of Margot's friends tells Margot she should have fun at the party. She jokes by holding a knife to Margot and saying, "or else." So the lady tries to take her friend's advice. Following this, we focus on a man named Frank asking his wife, Teeny, if they can leave. She says they can't because they haven't even spoken to Margot. He complains about the crowd being snobby. She agrees to go in 20 minutes. When Frank goes to another room, another man comes to Teeny, saying he can't find the bathroom. She shows him it is the room near them, which makes him say he must be intoxicated. Switching to Adam, he has a small statement to say to everyone as he walks past the members of the party. Eventually, it draws to a close, and we see Margot telling the other couple we saw about Dylan having nightmares. Teeny thinks that is more of a reason for the boy to spend the night with their family. Once they leave, it seems like they were the last people at the party, left alone. Adam talks about the party with Margot. He asks if the people had fun, and she thinks they did. He mentions two people who weren't there. Then they talk about a certain couple at the party. Adam thinks the couple was one of Margot's friends, but she thinks it was the other way around. Since neither of them knows the couple, Margot thinks they arrived with someone else. They think it's strange that such a thing happened. Adam wonders who invited them. Margot goes to the refrigerator to put food away and gets shocked upon closing the door. The man who asked Teeny about the bathroom is there. This prompts Adam to walk over to ask what is going on. The stranger's lady companion joins them, and the man says he comes in peace. They must have lost track of time in the washroom, he adds. He says they are leaving. While they are, Adam asks the couple who invited them. The man says they weren't invited in the formal sense. One of the guests at the party was blocking their car, says the woman. They introduce themselves as Tom and Sasha. They are the neighbors. Tom tells the couple to visit them at their house at any time because they owe them that. They talk for a short time until Tom asks if he can hit the reset button. He wants to invite the homeowners to a nightcap. However, Margot says they are going to take a rain check. The next scene has Teeny riding in a car with Frank. She tells him about a couple at the party that was very stylish. She thinks she caught the man snooping. Something was off about him to her, and he gave her the strangest look. Soon they get into a slight crash, which makes Teeny fret about it possibly being an animal that they hit. Frank exits the car to check. When he gets back in, he says it was a tree branch, but Teeny still thinks they hit something more serious than a branch. She worries about it being an animal that left and is in pain. Frank more firmly says it was a branch. Back at the house, it seems like the couple accepted their neighbor's nightcap. Adam is talking to Tom, complaining about his boss. Tom asks if Adam ever thought about starting his own company. It's something Adam claims to think about every day. Thus, Tom says he might have some people he can introduce him to. This gets Adam's interest. Shifting to the ladies, Margot learns Sasha has a child who is the same age as Dylan. Then she says most married couples don't attack each other in the bathroom. Sasha says they weren't doing that. They were merely engaged with substances. Margot is shocked to hear they were doing this in her house. She admits to having done the substance long ago. Suddenly, she asks Sasha if she has any of it left. Afterward, the guys come to the ladies and Adam sees his wife engaged in the activity Sasha claimed to do. He is surprised to see it. Adam says she gets a certain way doing this, yet she says he doesn't know how she gets. They are about to find out. Sasha comments. Tom wants to turn on some music, so he acts like it's his house and picks a record to put on. With the music playing, the four of them start to dance the night away. The scene switches to Dylan awakening in the other couple's house. Teeny tells Frank the boy wet himself because he had a nightmare. It involved his parents getting cut. While they speak, Dylan enters to say he needs Pookie, his stuffed monkey. He can't sleep without the toy. It seems like he won't be able to sleep, for Pookie is lying on the floor in his parents' house. Margot loves the dancing they are having. She says it's more fun than the party. Adam seems to be watching Sasha for too long during the dancing. Thankfully, the record starts to skip, interrupting him from the act. Once Margot says she wants to smoke, Sasha presents a cigarette to her. Therefore, they both go outside for a smoke. Sasha tells Margot how she cheated on Tom and Margot says it is amazing. Looking at Margot's hands, Sasha guesses she plays the piano, but it's the guitar. Sasha would like it if she played something. Shifting to the husbands, Adam is giving Tom a tour of the house. He tells his uninvited guest that some might consider the deal they got for it as a steal. He says the house has a certain history. Intrigued, Tom wants to know what it is. Adam says a family lived in the house about 20 years ago. They were successful and had twins. The problem is that the couple fought regularly. It was ugly fighting that the neighborhood knew about. Eventually, the couple fought to the point of destroying each other. The worst part is the kids never called the police. They left their deceased parents lying there for weeks. When Adam is done telling the gruesome story, Tom has to make a joke about it. He adds the important thing is that Adam got a great deal. Interestingly, Adam doesn't want Tom to mention this story to Margot. He told her people perished in this house, yet not to the level of detail he told Tom. How does Tom respond? He wishes someone perished in his house, for it would give the place some character. Changing topics. The guest says his wife is his secret weapon. If it weren't for her, he would not have launched his first company. Then he says when one half of a couple is dissatisfied with their choices, they don't want the other half to succeed too much. Adam can agree with that. He tells Tom that Margot used to be a musician, but now she manages her friend's thrift shop. Since Adam asks for his advice on what they should do, Tom says they should get out of town for a romantic weekend. During that time, he should take Margot's life. He bursts out laughing in a short time, and Adam calls him a dark person. Back to the ladies. Margot is playing the guitar for Sasha, who compliments the playing. She learns Margot used to be in a band called Feedlot. Strangely, Sasha claims to have seen her perform. She speaks well about a certain man from the band and wants Margot to phone him. Once she replies Adam would not like her to do that. Sasha says the man needs to take his boot off her neck. If Tom did that to her, she would break his nose. Margot starts to look through her phone until Sasha snatches it to look herself. She finds the man's number and calls it. The man answers it, prompting Sasha to give the phone back to Margot. So she is left talking to the man she hasn't spoken to in a long time. She asks if it's a good idea for them to meet to play music together. He agrees to it. Following this, Tom tells Adam tonight could get interesting. He welcomes the latter to his new area of living, where the people share more than just sugar. Tom talks about the ladies paying the husband tax and Adam is curious about what that is. Soon he realizes it involves cheating, an act he does not want to take part in. Tom calls him selfish for that. He also saw the way Adam was looking at Sasha earlier. Adam apologizes for it. However, Tom allows him to do it. It's his way of welcoming Adam to the neighborhood. Nothing is off limits as long as Adam doesn't bring harm to her. Tom asks if the couple is okay with being tied up. He does not receive his answer because Margot surprises Adam from behind. She says Dylan's hamster got out of its cage. Adam thinks they should look for it later. Then Sasha looks into another house from the window through binoculars. She is shocked to see people engaged in strange intimacy. The woman seems to be in trouble and Sasha says they should call 911, but she is joking about what she saw. Switching to Teeny, she drives alone until she stops at the place where they had a slight crash. She gets out of the car to inspect the area. It doesn't take long for her to hear the whimpering of a dog. Thus, she takes out a rifle and starts to walk with it to find the injured animal. She finds a dog in pain exactly as she had suspected. Teeny aims the rifle at it, yet she can't bring herself to shoot. She starts driving back home. Back at the house, Sasha tells her husband she found a band for their party. It will be the grand reunion of Feedlot. Adam says it will be a strange reunion without the man from the band. Margot says she called the man and tells Adam not to get weird. She adds she was in the band 10 years ago. It's not something Adam can still be jealous about. Denying his jealousy, Adam calls the man the king of the idiots. The couple gets into a slight argument over this. Tom tries to stop it by saying he and Sasha have a technique that helps them resolve arguments. They learned it at a retreat in Norway. Sasha says they will take turns hitting each other on the shoulder. Adam calls it the punching game, which he played in middle school. He doesn't want to play due to it looking like violence. Ignoring him, Margot gives her husband a light slap on the shoulder. She says she feels better. Adam imitates throwing a slow-motion punch at her to joke that he's not engaging in this. But she hits him for real. and he feels the pain. Margot accuses Adam of not knowing how to fight. She recalls an incident at the theater where he didn't do anything to a misbehaving man. At this point, he gives her a real punch, making her hit him back. Once he says he's done with this, she says she won. Since Adam does not want to be the loser, he tells her not to cry about what he's going to do. He tries to hit her, and she dodges it. He hits the stone wall instead, hurting his hand. Margot wants to exit this trouble with a drink. Alas, the trouble only intensifies because she drinks from the glass that has the hamster inside it. Needless to say, she is severely disgusted with this. Then the couple talks about the incident alone in the washroom. While they are struggling, Sasha is playing their piano and Tom is kicking back with his shoes on the table. When the homeowners rejoin their guests, Tom proposes to relieve all the tension. He wants them to engage in the thing he discussed with Adam. Margot is confused about what it is. The pressure falls on Adam, and he tells his wife they were talking about engaging in intimacy. She wants to know with who, so she gets told it will be the four of them. She reacts by being strongly against it. She cannot believe such nonsense was brought up. She walks away, forcing Tom to follow her. He tells her he didn't agree to the act. He was simply listening to Tom speak. As they talk, we see Sasha eavesdropping on them. Adam says he is sorry, and that he should have looked for the hamster the moment he learned it was out of its cage. The couple exchanges loving words with each other, but Sasha walks away in disappointment. Margot says she wants to sleep, which Adam wants too. Soon they come to their guests, saying it's time for them to sleep. Tom would like to finish drinking first. He even tries to order pizza. The man tries to be slick in conversation, always having the upper hand. Yet Adam firmly says they are going to bed. Sasha whispers to Tom that the couple might be upset about the intimate proposal, and he agrees. He asks if they are taking out their lack of communication on them. Once Adam says they communicate fine, Tom rhetorically asks if that is why Margot doesn't know why Adam got such a good deal on the house. Turning to her husband, she asks what deal. He says he did not want her to have nightmares. He says the house has a history of domestic, and she gets shocked. Adam attempts to lighten the severity of it by saying it happened a very long time ago. Tom says it wasn't that long ago, prompting Adam to yell why the former has to make it worse. Margot wonders if this is why she feels like she's being watched many times. Sasha claims to have heard about it. She says the corpses were tampered with. This disturbs the homeowners, and it explains Dylan's nightmares to Margot. The couple says they want the guests to leave now, but Tom says he's too scared to go outside. Switching gears, Adam decides to call the police. Alas, his phone has no power. He wants to use Margot's, and she can't find it. Adam starts to count down from 10 for them to leave. It causes Tom to say one should never give an ultimatum unless one has a plan. However, Adam keeps counting down. Opening the front door, he finds a note on it. He reads it to himself before pocketing it without saying anything. Then he collects a bottle. As Tom is putting down his drink, Adam breaks the bottle over his head. Tom yells they had 3 more seconds. Adam threatens them with another bottle and says he knows they are not the neighbors. In the meantime, we see Teeny driving in the area, complaining about being lost. Afterward, Adam gives Margot the note. It states this is a quiet neighborhood, so the level of noise should be lower. The note is from their neighbors, who are not the people currently in their house. Adam rudely asks them who they are. They are the other neighbors down the street, answers Tom. Sasha tells him the house number and Margot goes to check it with the binocular. Sasha adds it has a black door with wind chimes. When Margot returns, she says it's correct. The couple starts to apologize for what they did, since Adam asks why they didn't listen to them. Sasha says this is a game they play. Tom says it's to see if they can get the new neighbors to stay up till dawn. Adam apologizes again for breaking the bottle over Tom's head. As the guests are at the door, Adam says he and Margot really like them. Tom reciprocates the statement. While they walk along the street, Margot wants to be sure they get into their house. She and Adam watch them enter the house, which gives them their confirmation. Alone, Adam asks his wife if they behaved horribly with their guests. Margot says maybe they did. Sometime, though. It's good to behave that way, she thinks. Soon she finds Sasha's earring. Once Adam proposes to drop it off, she tells him not to apologize again for what they did. He goes to knock on their door. Tom opens it to receive the earring and Adam happens to do the thing Margot told him not to, apologize. He also says he's sorry about not telling the truth about the house to his wife. Tom says it was 17 years ago, a specific number that confuses Adam. He asks Tom how he knows that because Dan never told him the exact number. Then he hears a man yelling for help, so Tom yells for Sasha to turn down the TV. But it didn't sound like the TV to Adam. In the closet, Margot finds writing on the wall that has Tom and Sasha's names written on it several times. It bewilders her. Shifting back, Tom slams Adam's arm with the door before he throws him inside the house. In the next scene, Sasha is tying Adam's wrists. Tom informs him they are the twins. They lied to him about being a couple. Moving along, Tom presents Adam's restrained neighbors to him, and Adam asks him the obvious question: why are they doing this? When they were kids, Tom says, they used to play a game. They would do anything to get their parents to fight. If the parents were too busy beating each other, they were too busy to mess with the kids. One night, the kids pushed the parents too far. Tom wants Adam to know that he and Margot are not a bad couple. They were messed with due to some of their flaws. Sasha says it's only fun to destroy a bad couple. Speaking of a bad couple, Tom calls the restrained duo an insulting word. He asks the man if he remembers Tom. Adam is told they knew what was going on at the house while the captors were kids. They knew what the parents were doing to them, but the man says he didn't know anything, not listening to him. The twins take the couple's lives and Adam watches it. Following this, Margot arrives at the house to bang on the door. Tom tells Adam that although the latter and Margot aren't a bad couple, it doesn't mean they are a good one. He also tells Adam to never take out a bad day on his son, unless he wants the boy to end up like his captors. Once they leave, Adam makes progress in getting out of his restraints. He runs to the front door, yet Margot finds another door to enter the house by this point. As Teeny is driving, she accidentally hits Sasha. Lucky for the assassin, it was a light hit. Soon they all hear the frightened scream of Margot. It was seeing the deceased couple that made her do it. Tom stabs Teeny with a knife and leaves with his sister. Teeny is still alive. Struggling to exit the car, she collects her rifle. She sees someone running ahead, prompting her to shoot the person. Unfortunately, she shot Adam. Then Margot runs to him, yelling for help. On another day, Adam drives his car while listening to the radio. The announcer says the police are looking for the siblings who posed as a couple. A criminologist takes over to say that recreating traumatic events one can control is a common coping technique for those suffering from PTSD. When Adam arrives at his home, he gifts Margot with flowers. He says he rented them a place close to where they used to live, but she doesn't want it. She says Dylan's nightmares are gone, and he's never been happier. Adam notices the record player is on. He asks if she turned it on, to which she answers she didn't. It is the song that was playing on the night. The four of them were dancing together. He realizes it isn't skipping like it was previously. This causes him to yell that it's not skipping. Adding to his anxiety, he sees a glass with possibly alcohol nearby. Adam looks around nervously, perhaps knowing the twins could be somewhere there, and the film ends.